Welcome to SBS News in Easy English. I'm Sofia Petrovic. Victoria has recorded 1,749 new locally acquired coronavirus cases and 11 deaths. The state is closer to the end of Melbourne's lockdown. The lockdown will end on Thursday at 11:59 p.m. There will be no more curfew. There will also be no restrictions on leaving home. The state will likely reach 80% double-dose vaccination in November. Then Melbourne and regional Victoria will be under the same rules. New South Wales has recorded 273 new COVID-19 cases and 4 deaths. 3 men and 1 woman died. They were in their 60s and 80s. 2 had not been vaccinated against COVID-19. Chief Health Officer Dr. Kerry Chant is concerned about the spread across regional New South Wales.
We're seeing cases in Hunter, New England, around the Lake Macquarie, Wollongong and other regions. So please be vigilant wherever you are across the state. Get vaccinated, but also get tested and stay home if you have COVID symptoms.
ACT residents will no longer have to quarantine when returning from New South Wales. There will also be no quarantine for fully vaccinated international arrivals. Non-essential retail shops are reopening on October 22nd. Masks will not be mandatory after October 29. Canberra passed its 80% double-dose COVID-19 vaccination target today. The ACT reported 24 new COVID-19 cases. Travel to Queensland for fully vaccinated visitors will return next month. Fully vaccinated people can enter Queensland if they test negative to COVID-19 and quarantine at home for 2 weeks. Queensland is expected to reach 70% double-dose vaccination on November 19. This is when border rules will be relaxed. When the 80% milestone is reached in mid-December, vaccinated travellers from interstate hotspots can also visit Queensland. The federal government still hasn't decided on a climate policy. The Nationals and Liberals have met to discuss Australia's 2050 climate target. Prime Minister Scott Morrison wants a net zero carbon emissions target approved before he travels to COP26 in Glasgow. The COP26 is one of the most important international climate summits. Another joint meeting between the two parties will be held today. Nationals leader Barnaby Joyce says his party is concerned about regional Australia.
The closer you get to the centre of the capital city, it's a different political view, and we respect that. Their view is premised on predominantly white-collar jobs and low energy requirements, whilst ours in regional areas are predominantly blue-collar jobs that are energy intensive.
US Vice President Kamala Harris has paid tribute to Colin Powell. Mr. Powell was the first African-American US Secretary of State. He died aged 84 from complications due to COVID-19. He was fully vaccinated but had a history of cancer. Flags have been lowered to half-mast at the White House and State Department. Ms. Harris, who is the first Black, South Asian and female Vice President of the United States, says Mr. Powell broke down barriers.
Those barriers were not easy to break by any stretch, but he did it with dignity, he did it with grace. And because of what he was able to accomplish, it really did elevate our nation in so many ways.
You're listening to SBS News in Easy English. I'm Sofia Petrovic.